everyone, and welcome back to the V-Spot. I am so excited to come to you for this particular episode of the V-Spot, and I'm going to jump right in because I think it's obvious that by now you noticed the title of this episode is a telephone number. Did you notice that? The title of this episode is a telephone number, 347-676-1956. That is the name of this episode. But what else do you think that it is? I'm going to give you a minute. What else do you think that is? I'm going to tell you. That is officially the telephone number for the new V-Spot support line. I'm so excited. You all, are you excited? 347-676-1956 is officially the new V-Spot support line number. So effective immediately as of this moment, you now can call the hotline and leave a message with any question that you have or anything that you are looking for support with at this particular time. And I will get back to you. So the message asks for a couple of things, and I'll go through that in a minute, but I want to share a little bit about how this came to be and why I'm doing this right now. So first and foremost, I have talked about this before, but I am learning, and I say learning because it's not something I've mastered yet. I am learning to trust my intuition and go with things as I get the ideas. Whatever the idea, whatever the thing is, I am learning to trust that the idea comes to me for great reason and go with it. And so in a recent conversation with a friend, and I want to shout out to Joyce, we were talking about some ideas pertaining to, interacting with clients and interacting with people in the intentional healing and wellness and V-Spot community. And this idea came up about having a call line. And so we talked for a little, and I sort of workshopped it on the telephone with her. And I decided that I wanted to just run with the idea because I do believe that the idea is a great idea. And I do believe that it adds a level of interaction and value to the podcast that I've been wanting to bring to you and extend your way. And so one of the things that I always talk about when I'm on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, wherever, TikTok, I encourage interaction, right? I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts are pertaining to what it is that I'm talking about. How does it affect you? Are you struggling? Are you doing well? What works for you? What's not working for you? Where are you held up? Where are you stuck? And I'm always encouraging people to engage in dialogue with me because I'm never showing up to just speak at you. It's always meant to be interactive. So with that being said, I wanted to do the same with the podcast. I wanted to be able to create some mechanism to hear from you, to know where are you at, right? And something else that I've observed and noticed over the course of time is oftentimes people will message me privately pertaining to something that is talked about publicly in a social media post or a video or a live or a reel or whatever, an email. And I figured that's probably the case here too, in terms of the V-Spot. And so what I wanted to do is open up some sort of channel that will allow for you to ask a question, share what's going on, ask for support, get some insight. And I thought about the fact that I want this to be interactive, and this hotline, this support line allows for that added bonus to take place by way of the V-Spot. So I get that a lot of the content is, it's personal, right? So if we're speaking about healing work, or if we're speaking about personal development work or growth work, right? Getting out of our own way, life experiences, all of the things, there's a level of personalization and individuality attached to the topic. And so I wanted to create something that allowed for that to be preserved, but yet I do believe that several people, us, let's say in general, we tend to also have a lot of common threads and shared experiences. And so the VSpot support line is a way of calling in to share, hey, this is something that I'm going through. I would love for support around this. But someone else may benefit from hearing that answer too. So what I decided to do is open up the hotline, and I'm asking for a couple of different pieces of information so that there's an effective flow to how I envision this carrying out. And there may be tweaks along the way, right? I told you I'm jumping in, so we're going to see if anything needs to be tweaked. But this is my vision, and I'll walk you through it, and I'll tweak if need be. So what I'm thinking is that the support line is open. So you can leave a voice message and I will get back to you. And what I'm thinking about doing in terms of getting back to you is emailing you so that I'm able to connect back and share with you a response. And in addition to that, I'm going to randomly select some of the questions that I get or some of the messages that I get to actually record a podcast episode. If I feel that it's something that is likely beneficial to many, I'm going to record a segment, to answer that particular question or walk through that particular scenario so that a lot more people have access to it as well. So we're going to play with it and see how it goes, right? Again, we'll tweak and figure it all out as we go. But here's the main thing for you to know. The call line is available and open. You can leave a message, and I'm asking that you leave your first name, your city, and your email address, so I am able to get in touch with you with a response. Now, I ask in the message to please spell your email address out so I am able to get in touch with you, right? So that if I don't hear a certain letter, it's going to still flow and I'll be able to get in contact. So here's an example of what that may look like. If your email address is johndoe@gmail.com, you will say, this is John coming in from California, and my email address is johndoe@gmail.com, JOHNDOE@gmail.com. So this way I can make sure that I actually have your correct email address. You will leave your question or leave your, whatever it is that you're looking for support with on the recording, and I will then create a response to get back to you, okay? And I will send it to you via email. Now, in the message, I say, by leaving your message, you agree to being added to the email list. And my email list is a way that I communicate with the community. So I touch base about different things. I let you know if there's anything coming up. It's the way to stay in touch. And so by leaving a message, you agree to be added to the email list. And that's it. Everything is going to be kept confidential. So if I choose your segment, your question, your scenario, whatever, to record a podcast episode on, I will shout you out. So John, this is coming in from John from California. Your email address will be kept confidential. I'm not going to put your email address in the podcast episode, but I will say this question came in from John, who's in California, and then I'll respond with an answer. So your personal email address is kept personal. The only place that it will be is added to our email list, and that's so that we can be in touch with you, so that you know what's up and what's happening by way of all the things, VSpot, all the episodes, everything. But other than that, your email address will not be, I want to just go on the record, hear me loud, folks, hear me loud. Your email address will be kept confidential. It will not be included if I choose to respond by way of an actual podcast episode. The only thing that will be shared is your name. John from California asked the question, how do I stop procrastinating? Let's just say I'm making this up. And I will then share out the answer. So that is primarily how it's going to go. If there is anything that needs to be tweaked and changed, we will do it. It's a living, breathing process, right? It will flow with it. But the bigger part and the main thing for you to know is that the V-Spot, given the nature of vulnerability, and sometimes people don't want to lean into vulnerability for lots of different reasons, right? There's shame attached, there's risk attached, and emotional exposure, uncertainty. People don't always feel comfortable. So now you have the opportunity to ask a question that's personal to you, or ask a question that you're interested in, ask something that you want to know more about, that you're interested in hearing my thoughts on, and I will provide an answer to you by way of your email address. And if it is something that I think will benefit the whole community, I will record an episode and I will shout you out by name and city and give out the response pertaining to your particular question. So I'm so excited because I cannot wait to hear and see where this goes. Moving forward, what I will do is at the end of the episodes, I will remind you that the telephone number 347-676-1956 is a way that you can get in touch and leave a message. And I am toying with some ideas that maybe once a week at a certain time, I will actually answer the phone. And there's an opportunity that way. So that's, I'm going to put a poll attached to this episode and ask, is that something that you would like to experience at some point? And if it is, then we'll do it. We'll go for it. So I'm excited. I'm just looking forward to hearing from you. I know that there's so much that you all are going through. There's so much that you're working through. There's so much that you're looking to overcome in your own life. And I can't wait to be able to, support, and whether it's connected directly to a podcast episode, the content that I share here, or whether it's something that you just have been curious about, or you want to know, my thoughts, my perspective. This is a way of giving, direct access and opening up the telephone line so that we're able to engage in a more intimate way. And so seize the moment, right? Seize the moment. It's a lot different to, potentially send a DM than it is to be able to record something. No one is going to hear the recordings. This is confidential, but it's really in the name of vulnerability and connection and spontaneity and support. And it's an opportunity to bring to the table a question, bring to the table a scenario, a real life dilemma, something that you're going through, something that you're working towards. And if you are part of this community, whether it be the V-Spot community or intentional healing and wellness, social media community, that your experiences matter, and what you're up against or going through or working, towards is important. And I want to be able to lend some support. And so let's see what happens. We will go as we, we'll flow with it, flow as we go. And if anything needs to be shifted and changed, I will shift and change. But I think for now, this is a great starting point. Your name, your city, and your email address. Ask whatever question you have, whether it's general, like I just gave an example, or if it's something more specific to where you are on your journey, and something that you want support with. And I will answer and come to you by way of email to share a response and hopefully provide some, insight, support, anything that will help you move forward or give you some access to clarity, whatever it is, we will go with it. And let's have fun. Let's have fun. So my request is that you keep it appropriate. It's 2023. I realize there's some risk involved in opening up a support line telephone number. I'm also clear that the people who tune into the V-Spot and the people who are part of the intentional healing community are certain like quality people who are navigating life and calling themselves forward and growing and healing and pushing and stretching beyond their comfort zone and going after the things. So I'm confident that it's all going to go just as it's meant to go. But don't hesitate to call, and please, take some time to think about what it is that you want support with, and let's do it. So as of this moment, 347-676-1956. You can call the V-Spot support line number whenever you want. Leave a message. Let me know your question. Let me know what you want support with, and I will get back to you via email with a response. And if your question I feel would benefit answering for the whole community to hear, I will record episodes and give you a shout out. Thank you so much, John from California, for writing in with this question. And I'll do the episode so that other people can benefit from receiving the responses as well. So I say this in the voice recording, and I'm going to say it here. The only question that is not good is the one that you don't ask. So don't hold back. Right? There's an opportunity here to lean in. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing who calls in. I'm looking forward to seeing how I can support you. And should it grow rapidly and I need to make some changes to adjust to the volume of questions or requests, I will share out how that's going to look here in another segment. But for now, please know that the call line is live. I will get back to you by way of your message. Your email address is the way that I'm going to do that. So leaving a clear message is really important. And you agree to be added to our email list so that you can hear more about what's going on, what's coming up, what is the topic of the week, and anything that I would want to communicate with you, that information will be there. Aside from that, no one will have access to your message or your email address. Confidentiality is one of the things that I take so serious. And so please know in this moment that you could rest assured that this is to support you and to provide you with a additional touch point and access, and that's it. And so I'm so excited to jump in. Thank you for being here with me. Listen, you now have the option to call in. So let's see who seizes the moment and takes the opportunity to call in. I will stay tuned, and I will continue to remind you at the end of each episode that the phone is available, the line is open, and the call is available for you. So until I hear from you in the voicemail or until we meet again here, thank you for joining me in the V-Spot. To be continued.